The killer or killers are still on the loose. Right now, German police are racing to find them. Former U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations, Ambassador John Bolton, goes on the record. Good evening, sir.
Glad to be here.
Well, they suspect one who's down. One of the 9 is one of the killers. They're still looking for 2 others. A manhunt going on. The city's still in lockdown. Meanwhile, the rest of us, it hasn't been confirmed, but nonetheless are suspicious that this is terrorism.
Well, we have completely contradictory reports of eyewitnesses, some of whom say they heard the shooter yell Allahu Akbar. Others heard him say, "I'm a German, blank the foreigners," and similar remarks. So we don't know. But let's be clear, the risk of civil war inside several European countries is very real. Patrick Kovar, who's the head of the French Director General of Internal Security, DGSI, said in a public speech about 2 weeks ago he could see civil war in France, and he predicted that it might be occasioned by kind of an incident of massive sexual assault on women as occurred in Cologne, Germany, New Year's Eve, that could set it off. Whether this is a right-wing extremist in Germany, we don't know at this point. But I think when you put 1 million unvetted refugees into a country like Germany, you're going to have cultural clashes. It's not to justify it, obviously, but to say it wouldn't surprise me if after axe attacks on German trains and the attack we saw in Nice, you know, it's 1 o'clock in the morning in Munich now. This is a direct parallel to what happened in Nice in the evening of Bastille Day on July the 14th. So in the midst of this uncertainty, it's obviously difficult to know whether there was one gunman or more than one gunman, but let's get this prospect of civil war in 1 or more European countries out on the table, because it's real.
You know, it's astounding when you think that an entire city of Munich is locked down right now, 3rd largest city in Germany. The 2nd time in a week that they've had something that's, you know, I mean, last week we out of the train, and now this.
And this attack near the site of the Munich Olympics attack, near the...
From 72?
Exactly, near the site of the Munich railway station, where literally hundreds of thousands of refugees from the Middle East have been coming through. That's the main entry point into Germany over the past year. So it's the kind of locus of that conflict between civilizations, where you could well see something like this as the beginning, I'm afraid.
Or you could have someone who's just a copycat, who's cruel, who's evil, who's seen this other...
Sure. It could be a complete nutcase. But,
yeah, an evil one at that.
Indeed.
But it's just terrible to watch, isn't it? I mean, these stories aren't going away.
Yeah, and it's spreading all over Europe. This is one country after another, and the risk of this spreading to the United States, I think, is real, as senior intelligence officials have testified in open session of Congress in the past 60 days.
Ambassador, thank you, sir.
Thank you.